Hi Macy. So, how are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Now, you wrote a blog very recently on women in Afghanistan
Yeah.
and women's rights, and you've agreed to come and talk to us today about this in a bit more detail. What's happening with women's rights in Afghanistan at the moment for people who don't know?
So, in the past few weeks, the rights of women have been almost completely taken away. Before, in the past 20 years, since the US military had control over Afghanistan, women had more freedom, so they could go to work, go to school, have control over their own finances. But in the last few weeks, since the Taliban have regained control since the US military left, these rights have just simply been taken away from them. And I know lots of women with academic achievements or highly paid jobs have now been told that they can no longer do that. These rights have literally been taken away in the space of a few days. Like me as a woman in the UK, the idea that all this hard work that you do, all the time you put into improving yourself and your contribution to society can be taken away within literally a short amount of time is quite a terrifying idea.
So, essentially, you're really empathising with the plight of women in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's important for us to be discussing this in the UK? It's happening in Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we discussing it? Do you think? Why is it so important?
The UK military did have a presence in Afghanistan at one point. They pulled out quite a few years ago now. But I think that as a country with a majority of high income in the Western world, we have a duty almost to help those who are less fortunate than ourselves. And I also think that you can't look at someone else struggling in any sense and let that happen. I think that's quite inhumane, quite immoral, really.
So what you're saying is you think the UK government should basically help allow refugees from Afghanistan
Yes,
to come and live and work in the UK.
Yeah, and I know that's hard because we obviously don't have all the capacity in the world, but equally, I think it is our moral, what's the word?
Kind of responsibility.
Yeah, moral responsibility to do that. I think as well, at the moment, obviously, with the lorry drivers and the shortage of petrol, there are a lot of vacancies for jobs which need to be done here in the UK as well.
So yes, so it's a mixture of moral responsibility and also the fact that there are employment opportunities in the UK as well. So looking forward, I mean, you've written about women's rights in the UK, in Afghanistan. As a young woman yourself, how do you feel in the UK we've come in terms of gender equality?
Well, I think that for most of my life, so I'm 16, I've experienced equality between men and women. And I think we have come a long way. Nowadays, women are able to do just the same things as men. Sometimes we don't get paid the same amount, which is obviously still a big problem. And I think also just the way people are treated or stereotyped in general is often kind of still like deep rooted in the patriarchal society, and the idea that men are strong and men are kind of the dominant controlling factor and women are more kind of, I don't know, they are there to kind of aid the man in his duties.
So a more passive, subservient role.
And I think today in the UK that's less so, definitely. But I think we can still see that all around the world, despite the fact that I feel that I live in an equal world, there's still a very masculine dominated in lots of places in the world.
Well, that is many people would argue that it's true. I would say not on the blog, because as we can prove on the blog, more young women have blogged and vlogged. Lots of young men have too. So it's very. A lot of people have been contributing, but if it was a competition, which it's not, there are more girls who've blogged and vlogged, and some fantastic stuff too. So very interesting to hear your opinions on this, and perhaps in a few months' time you might come back and tell us how things have developed in Afghanistan.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Macy.